She's not a glitter person. Quite a struggle.
Yeah.
All right, you gonna tell us about it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This is Panda Bear, and yeah, she's in my story, and you can see when I was thinking about the brother bears, I was thinking about Mitzi, and so I thought to myself, oh no, Mitzi has a visitor, a visitor. And so as I was thinking about her, she has a visitor, and the name is Panji. I don't know what that means. It's just Panji. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not a good person. But she was born this year, February 17th, 2015. And she's doing good. If you want to look at it afterwards, you can. So I don't know what her mom's I don't know her mom's name, but she let's see, she cooks. Yeah. She cooks, and her last name is, the name is pronounced Panda Bear, just like Chinese people's name, the last name, and so I decided to put the, sorry, it's not Chinese.
No, you're fine.
The G-E-N, and so, let's see, I forgot. I think she's about maybe 6 months old, I think. Yeah. If you have any questions? I know I'm not a glitter person.
Was that the name of the hospital there?
Bear Hill, yes, in my story, Bear Hill.
Bear Hill.
Where's the hospital? Where's it located? Is it somewhere out of the state?
No,
It's in Texas.
no, it's in Portland,
Portland.
Maine,
okay.
Portland.
Oh.
Mhm.
Portland, Maine.
Yeah, it's right out, it's like 15 minutes away from where they live. So I try to find out what her mom's name is. So she's,
So that's what panda bears look like when they're little, huh?
yeah.
Cute.
They're not black, right? They're all one color when they're little, or what?
They look like a little,
Looks like a
they,
turtle.
they look like a little rat.
Little rat.
Like you can fit them in a palm of your hand. But then, she's doing great in my story, so if you would like to look at the poster, you can.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I had one of them, but we marked I made mine
All right, well, now that we've covered panda bears, really important topic, I'm going to take over the stage for a moment to announce the winners of our 2015 Pen to Paper Creative Writing Contest. Pen to Paper is one of the hosts of this open mic. Today, we formally announced the first prize and grand prize winners of our contest, which covers fiction, nonfiction, and poetry that deals with the topic of disability. We've been doing this for about 6 years. We get really amazing work from all over the world. This year we got entries from all over Texas, 15 different states in the US, 5 countries outside of the US. It's awesome. And because of the nature of contests, we have to pick winners, but I know it's cliche, they're all winners. They're all great. So If you've got some time, go to our website, txdisabilities.org/pen-to-paper, and give them a read. There's really great stuff. So now I am going to announce the division winners in the fiction, nonfiction, and poetry categories. And then I'll announce the grand prize winners who win everything, including some money, which is great that we can do that. They all deserve lots of money, but that is not the world we live in. So, whew, man, I'm nervous. I mean, I'm excited. So I'll start with poetry. Our first place in poetry went to Jennifer Ruth Jackson for her story, or for her poem, Lady in Blue. This is a really accessible poem about feeling good in your own body. Maybe you have a prosthesis, but that doesn't mean you can't feel attractive and awesome. And I think both the other contest coordinator, Susie, and I really feel that this is a topic that needs to be talked about way, way more. So we were really, when we read Jennifer's poem, we were both like, oh yes, this is a good one. The first place in our nonfiction category goes to J. Angie Lee's Friday Night Enlightenment. This was a great non-fictional piece about just kind of looking critically at the way our culture treats people with disabilities a little bit differently, even in a well-meaning way, how that's kind of messed up, but she does it in a way that is so non-judgmental. We just found that really refreshing, and in fact, one of our judges read it and was just like, this has changed the way I look at the idea of disability. So that's a pretty huge deal we thought, so awesome, J&G. First place in our fiction category went to Daniel Rosen of Minnesota for his piece, Second Chair. This is a really wonderful short story about a street musician who's diagnosed with a degenerative disability, and she kind of has to figure things out, and it's sad and hilarious at the same time, which is a really difficult but powerful balance to pull off. So, yes, thank you, Dean. For the grand prize, something happened this year that has never happened before. We actually had a tie. We couldn't conscionably choose between these two entries that were both really outstanding. The first is a poem by Joyce Frohn called Foggy Morning, which one of our fabulous poetry judges, Taylor from Malvern Books, is going to read for us. Yeah. Oh, you have it. So prepared.
Foggy morning. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the captain of Thought Air Flight 375. The mind we are attempting to reach is fogged in. All connecting flights in or out have been canceled. Since we were already in the holding pattern when the mind fog occurred, we will continue to circle and hope for an opening. We are sorry for any inconvenience this may have caused you, and thank you for flying Thought Air.
And our other grand prize is going to go to somebody in this very room, which is really exciting. You didn't enter anything, John. That doesn't work. David Borden for It Might Be More Beautiful. This is an incredible piece of short fiction about his daughter. If you've been to our open mic before, you've probably heard some of David's amazing stories that just really pack a punch like nothing else. So I don't know if you brought anything to share, if you just showed up.
I just showed up.
Okay.
It's always a fun time.
All right, cool. Well, congratulations, David. And if you do want to read it or anything, I have it on my phone.
I can read it if people are here.
please?
Oh, yeah.
I'll have to. This is actually nonfiction, and it's from a memoir that I've been working on. My daughter, some of you know, Savannah, died just this year. She was almost 16 years old, and she had multiple disabilities. She was blind, quadriplegic, had a seizure disorder, and many other issues. And my wife and I, who's back there, and her sister, Ruby, are all here. And it's been a long road. And so this is a chapter from that memoir. And this really is about the sort of day-to-day routine that many of you are probably very familiar with. It's called It Will Be More Beautiful. I'm going to see if I can get through it. I can see the back of Savannah's wheelchair as I emerge from the dark hallway that connects the garage to the inner rooms of our home. The window blinds are drawn against the scorching Texas sun, which sprays bright striations across the floor. I'm already cold with sweat against the air conditioning. Savannah sits in the playroom watching a movie with her nurse and younger sister. I lay my hand upon hers and greet her. "Hey, Savannah, Daddy's home." The nurse looks over the top of her reading glasses and waves from her desk. Ruby sprawls on the sofa next to the fan. Savannah wrenches her eyes from the screen and searches for me. I ask, "How was your day today?" Her eyes roll this way and that, trying to focus. "Did you go for a walk? Did you have music therapy?" She is still looking for me, her chin hovering above the towel that vainly attempts to keep her face dry from the drool. "Savannah," the nurse calls out, "show your dad your fingers and toes." I pick up one soft hand. The fingers are tightly fisted in a ball. I ease under her palm and bring the fingers out. She relaxes. She lets me open her hand in spite of the cerebral palsy. She doesn't let everyone do this. She trusts me. She finally catches my face in her peripheral vision, which is her only means of seeing due to her cortical visual impairment. She tracks back and forth with a sideways nod. Her nails are painted purple with faint glitter. "Oh, don't you look pretty," I exclaim upon examination. "And your toes too, wow!" And like any other teenage girl just praised for her fashion sense, she breaks into a killer smile. "I'm happy to see you too," I say. I hold her hand and stroke her brown hair, her mother's hair, for a moment. I walk through the playroom. Ruby barely moves. In her preteen nonchalance, she says, "Hey, Dad." "Hey, Rubes. What's for dinner?" she says, without taking her eyes off the TV. "Rhino horns and bat wings," I say. "Dad," she scoffs, half exasperated at a joke she outgrew last year. I continue into the kitchen. Tamara stands at the stove, aproned, spatula poised over her stir fry. She's beaten me home from work by 30 minutes. "Hi," we say. "I've got a story to tell you," she says. "Well, I've got one for you too," I say. I just need to get changed." She kisses me. I caress her back. It's rippled with tension. "It's good to be home," I say. Tamara and I make dinner and swap work stories. The nurse's shift ends. "See you tomorrow, Savannah's family," she calls from the playroom. I hear her stowing her stuff. "Thank you," Tamara calls back. "See you tomorrow, pretty girl," the nurse says to Savannah. The front door opens and closes. Tamara turns off the TV and rolls Savannah to the dinner table. I trail closely with the feeding pole that is tethered to Savannah's abdomen. The white formula flows with a mechanical hum and slush from the pump. We eat and talk as a family. Savannah smiles at our conversation from the head of the table. Though she can't speak, she communicates much by flashing her eyes or laughing at the right moments. "It's nice to be together," I say. "We're not all together," Ruby says. "Fluffy's not here." "Yes, he is. He's lying next to me," Tamara says. She nudges the cat's belly with her toe. He meows. After we deposit the dinner plates in the dishwasher and I help Ruby with her homework, it's time for Savannah's shower. I remove her bib. "Time for a daddy bath." She smiles so big that her jaws seem to stretch out of place. I remove her chair restraints and toss her Mickey button extender on the gurney. Are you ready? I ask. My face is next to hers as I stoop over. Savannah squints. She's trying to process it all. Transitions are hard. Here we go, I say. Have to warn her. Have to brace myself for the lift. I slip one arm around her back and grab under the other. The other goes under her thighs. I have learned to squat and lift to preserve my back. She weighs more than 80 pounds now. Up we go, Savannah, I lift and grunt. You're such a big girl. I adjust my grip and feel that she has wet through her diaper. I cradle her as best I can. She's a 13-year-old quadriplegic. Her limp torso tries to slide away. Her limbs dangle. Her face is close. I can feel the percussive breath as she giggles. Tamara undresses